looks like Michael Hughes should be in the men's restroom. By law, he should go to the women's restroom. Please welcome him and Jessica Zyrie to help flush out why they feel the laws need to be updated. All right. Let me just start with Michael. You knew at 4 years old.
Around 4.
Yeah, around 4. I'm a boy.
Yeah.
And did you express that to your parents?
I did. I just matter-of-factly in the kitchen while my mother was cooking. So, you know, I'm a boy. And she just kind of patted my head and laughed.
Yeah,
and,
little tomboy face
so you're
you're going
tomboy.
through.
That's fine. Go play.
Yeah.
You know?
But that never went away for
It never
you.
went away.
But you waited till your parents passed away before.
I did. I somehow at the age of 4 realized by her reaction and just by the way they handled me and my clothing choices and wanting to cut my hair, they don't see me.
Right.
You know, they don't get it. I knew that all along.
Yeah,
so
but it plagued you. And I think that the point that a lot of you would like people to understand is that if it's just a lifestyle choice, why would you go through so much pain to get there, right?
Exactly.
You were suicidal at times.
I was very.
Dropped out of school. You had a scholarship, bright future, but that just you couldn't deal with that until the point where your parents passed away, and then you decided to take the next step.
It was after I lost my dad. I lost my mother first, and then after I lost my dad, I kind of took that inventory of my life. You know, like, what do I do now? I have no parents. It's just me. I
have to say that at first with the whole bathroom bill, I kept thinking, okay, well, what's on your birth certificate? Or what have you always been doing? Just do what you've always been doing. When I saw your pictures, because you went on this campaign, didn't know it was going to go viral.
No idea.
But you just took, there you are. That's by law that you're doing the right thing, right?
Right.
But when people see you, women see you in the restroom, see they're putting on their makeup and stuff. You're never getting in to wash your hands.
Those are my daughters, actually, too.
There you go. All right. So you decided to do this, and what happened?
Overnight, it just blew up. I woke up the next morning, my phone's just pinging off the nightstand. You know, I had no clue, no idea that it was going to do what it did. I really just took the pictures to. But
it made it very visual for people, because a lot of us are. It's hashtag we just need to pee, but just in case you wanted to know. All right, Jessica, you at a very early age also knew you were a girl.
Yes, so I was about 3 years old when I first told my parents, but at the time I didn't really have the words to describe it to them, and because I was so feminine, a lot of people would say, "Oh, well, you're just gay," you know. So that's how I told them at that age. But
that's,
they also
again, the difference between being gay and transgender is a different deal.
Right. Yeah. Completely. Sexual orientation and gender identity are two separate things.
Right.
And yeah, when I told them that, they also kind of had that reaction. Right. So it took me a long time before I decided to transition.
Yeah, because even your parents thought you were just going through a girly phase.
Exactly.
But obviously not, and you decided to do, transition. So for you, your first serious bathroom experience, because I would imagine that the tough part too is while you're transitioning, things are in flux, right? And for you, one day you went to a pizza place with friends, and what happened?
Well, I had recently transitioned, and you know, I hadn't started hormones or anything yet. It was one of my really close friends, his little brother's birthday party. So, you know, there was a lot of guys around, and you know, my hair and makeup was, you know, we were running around and stuff. So I wanted to go into the bathroom to fix it up, and I kind of went in there and just looked in the mirror, and I was just doing my makeup, and these two figures kind of went behind me. It was a mother and her daughter. And I wasn't paying much attention to them, but after they left, a police officer approached me and asked to see my ID. And I knew where it was going, and I was going to grab it. And he said, well, I asked him, you know, what do you need to see my ID for? And he was like, well...
Because on your ID would have been what?
It said male, yeah. And I knew where it was going, so I wanted to explain it to him, but he said, just give me your ID or I'm going to arrest you. And I said, I will get it for you, but I would like to know why. I thought I had a right to know. Right. So he arrested me in the middle of the pizza place and took me outside in front of everyone.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
All right, so what would you like to see happen in the Texas legislature right now? Because we're not sure which way that's going to go, but we have an idea that a lot of people, again, not understanding this, would vote for it to be, you got to go with what's on your birth certificate.
Well, we absolutely want to see that go away. That would be so harmful, and not just the transgender community. It's harming. There's a video that surfaced recently. It's been going around Facebook of a biological and a identified female being kicked out of a bathroom because she was dressed too boyish.
Because where do you go? Because you can't show up in the men's restroom.
No.
And you can't show up in the women's restroom.
No. We need to be able to decide for ourselves. Everyone should be able to decide for themselves what's appropriate for them and where they feel comfortable and safe.
Yeah.
And it's a huge safety issue as well.
Yeah. When you speaking of safety, when you saw that commercial and it had a
Right.
fear factor for a lot of people, what's your comment on that?
It's a straw man argument, and it's really just being used. It's so misleading.
Yeah. When they say the person decides they want to be a female for the day.
Yeah, I mean, criminals are going to be criminals. If someone wants to access a women's restroom for, ill intent, they're going to do it. It's not, nobody's going to just go throw on a wig and a dress, to go
Throw on a wig and a dress and go to the bathroom.
It's not happening. It hasn't happened. It's not a thing. It's being, like I said, it's a straw man argument. It's being, this frenzy kind of whipped up around this to scare people,
Yeah.
for political gain.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Up next, while the bathroom law is still up in the air, what about laws protecting a transgender person in the workplace? What about health insurance? Will it pay for the operation to complete transition? And when it comes to boys and girls athletics, is it a fair fight? We'll talk about that next.
Millions of Americans were exposed to asbestos.